Hey guys, this is Tom Leo signing in, and welcome to a very special vid here on the Tom Leo YouTube channel. And it's one that I'm really excited to do. Thanks to all your guys' support, we officially hit 2K subs, which is such an amazing milestone to hit, and I could not be more grateful. We got a lot of plans to celebrate such an occasion, but for this video, I'm gonna do a Draw My Life video, which is something I don't really see a lot of these days. But I like this kind of video because I think it's cool to hear other people's stories and how they got to where they are today. And I wanted to do the same. Before we get started though, I'd like to give a big shout out and thank you to my good streamer friend Pixela. She is the one doing all the drawings that you see here and for the rest of this video. She is a far better artist than I could ever be, so big thanks to her. A link to her channel will be in the description, so go check her out after this video and enjoy hanging out with her in her live streams. So I was born in a strange foreign land called Canada. I'm not going to say where specifically because I want to keep that information private. I was born as the second child in the family after my sister, who is 2 years older than me. And she pretty much hated me right off the bat. Mainly because I was getting all the attention. My parents decided to name me Thomas for two different reasons. My father wanted to give me a French name as we are a French-Canadian family, and that was one of the closest names to that culture. My mother, on the other hand, had a huge crush on a lot of celebrities with Tom in their name. Tom Selleck, Tom Cruise. Well, maybe not so much Tom Cruise anymore, but yeah, that's how I got my name. Growing up was quite a challenge for me, mainly because I didn't have a voice of my own. I was a very timid and shy kid with very few friends for most of my school life. So, naturally, there were people that would bully me to get a reaction out of me, and they knew I couldn't fight back. My only solace was playing web browser-based games and watching TV shows and cartoons like SpongeBob SquarePants, Fairly Odd Parents, and an odd show called Being Ian. It was about a Canadian kid who had a very active imagination and loved to make movies. I got so interested in that show that I wanted to try movie making. So my mom bought me a VHS recording camera and a whole bunch of blank tapes to use. I made tons of cringeworthy sketches that I swear will never, ever see the light of day. So don't ask. The other thing about my timid nature was that I didn't have any ambitions or aspirations outside of keeping my family happy. My whole childhood, I thought that if my family was happy, then nothing else mattered. So I did my best to get good grades in school so I could eventually get a good job, then I could start a family of my own. Unfortunately, that was easier said than done. The constant bullying at my school from the other kids, and even from a cruel, black-hearted teacher, Wendy! It really hurt me mentally. So much so that I became a paranoid wreck. And every time I was pushed to my breaking point, I would either lash out and hurt someone, or cry uncontrollably. Either way, my parents would have to come in to discuss this with the teachers, and try to find a solution to fix this. I'm using finger quotes here on solutions. We tried therapy, signing me up for Taekwondo lessons so I could relieve some stress. I was even given some doctor-prescribed drugs to try and calm me down. But nothing ever worked. I was too scared to make new friends, I had difficulty studying, and I was constantly hiding myself away from the rest of the world by watching TV and playing games all the time. By the time I was in my last year of junior high, my life was forever changed. One day, my mother picked me up from school and took me to a place I didn't recognize. She then told me that she was planning to divorce my father, and that the place we were at was where she was going to live from now on, and that I could move in with her if I wanted to. I had never felt more devastated than I did in that moment. It honestly felt like my whole world had just ended, and I was left with nothing at all. Ultimately, I decided to live with my mother while my sister stayed with our father. And for so many months, I was stuck in this state of pure depression, becoming more of a shut-in than I was before. My friends and teachers tried their best to help me out as much as possible, but I wasn't getting any better. And for so many days and nights, I would lie on my bed wondering where I'm supposed to go from here, or if there was even a point in continuing. Yeah, I had those kinds of thoughts running through my head. And I'd just like to say, if any of you at home are having similar thoughts, please don't keep them to yourself. Please talk to someone you trust and seek help. I promise you, talking to someone can make all the difference. For the first few months at this new place, we didn't have cable, so I turned to YouTube for entertainment. At this time, I wasn't subscribed to any channels, nor did I have any types of videos that I liked to watch. So I just watched whatever came to mind. Then one day, YouTube recommended a video on the Shaytards, a family vlogging channel run by the one and only Shay Carl. And it was this one video that pulled me out of my depression. No, I'm not exaggerating here. In this vlog, he and his family were enjoying a brand new water slide that they were able to get after winning some sort of contest. I don't remember what the contest was about. And seeing all of them having fun and all the hijinks that took place in that vlog made me feel happy inside. But what really helped me out of my depression the most was a little message that Shay said in the beginning of the vlog. He talked about a time he and his friends went to a Blink-182 concert back when they were a small-time band. Then they got super popular and made tons of money from it, and people were saying how they've become a bunch of sellouts, which Shay was disgusted by that comment, saying, quote,
"Sell out? What do you mean? We like their music. They're getting more popular because they have good music and more people want to hear that good music. So how is that selling out? They're doing what they were doing and now they're getting paid for it. Isn't that what everybody wants to do? To me, the term of selling out is working a job 40 hours a week that you don't want to do. That's selling out because you don't want to be there and you're getting paid to do something you don't want to do. So is that more noble than getting paid to do something you like to do? I really believe that you can do whatever you want. It just takes time. I mean, I worked for 5 years in the granite business and I hated it, but I had to do it. I mean, sometimes you have to do things to get by because you have to pay the bills, but you can work towards doing what you love. So if you're doing something that you hate doing, work, do that thing to get by until you can work towards doing something you love. So
this message really spoke to me and gave me a new purpose in life. So I made up my mind. I would find the thing I love to do and make something of it. I really had to dig deep to find the thing I love, because, again, I didn't have much to aspire to. But after thinking long and hard about all the stuff I've done in my life at that point, I remembered those cringy videos I made as a child, and how much fun it was making them. Right when that popped into my head, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And seeing how I was really getting into the kind of content that was being made on YouTube, I figured I could give that a try as well. I worked on several channels with different types of content. My first channel was a gaming video channel called Batman F95, which I deleted after being discouraged from the lack of growth, so you won't be able to find it. Then I worked on 2 different channels with my friends, UltimateComedyClub, which was a comedy skit channel, and ActionMediaPros, which was a fighting scene based channel. I'll leave a couple of links to those channels in the description if you want to watch them. We unfortunately had to quit both after we had some difficulties scheduling shoot days once we were out of high school and had to start getting jobs. But I wasn't about to give up, so I took another shot at making gaming videos on a personal channel. But I didn't want to come back as Batman F95. I wanted a new name, one that was more unique to me. And I remembered how Shay Carl came up with his name by combining his real name of Shay with his father's name, which was Carl. So I decided to do something similar by taking the shorter way of saying my real name, which was Thomas, and using my middle name of Leo, which was named after my grandfather from my dad's side of the family. And thus, the channel Tom Leo was born. Unfortunately, growing said channel was easier said than done. I was essentially doing everything on my own, while also juggling a job and classes at college. I did my best to be as consistent as possible, and I would pour my heart and soul into every video I made. But I was constantly pushing myself to the point of exhaustion, and it didn't help that my channel wouldn't grow the way I wanted it to. So I eventually lost the motivation and gave up making videos. Then a couple of months later, I regained that motivation and started making videos again, only to wind up back in the exact same situation that I was in before. And it just became this vicious cycle. A cycle that lasted for 5 years. All the while, I didn't even crack 100 subs. So somewhere within this 5-year period, I decided to switch from videos to live streaming, hoping that will lighten the load and relieve some stress. I did a few live streams before making the switch, but I wasn't an expert at this point, so it was still kind of new territory to me. As you can probably imagine, my first streams were subpar at best. I had a good streaming software, a decent enough webcam, and okay internet, but I didn't really have anything that made me stand out from the rest of the live streaming community. I had a couple of people come by in the chat here and there, but I still wasn't growing as much as I wanted. Looking back on it all though, I think that way of thinking was the reason why I wasn't growing. The constant need to reach such a high goal at such a fast rate, instead of just simply playing a game for the fun of it, would always leave me feeling frustrated and tired. And those feelings would carry over into my commentary. Basically, I wasn't as lively in those earlier streams as I am now. And I think that further made it difficult for me to grow as a creator. But by the tiniest stroke of luck, I finally got the chance I needed to grow my community. And this one chance forever changed this mindset of mine. The year was 2019. I was streaming the final section of the World of Light campaign in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Thinking that there wouldn't be a lot of people to talk to in the chat, I directed most of my attention to the game that night. Then suddenly, about halfway through the stream, I see new messages popping up in the chat out of the corner of my eye. All of them were saying #VinnyRaid. At this point, I didn't know what a raid was, so I was shocked and confused as to why so many people just appeared out of nowhere. I later found out that a very big Nintendo streamer by the name of Vinny of the original 151 channel had brought his audience over to my stream that night. My chat became livelier, my view count skyrocketed, and for the first time ever, I broke triple digits in subs. I honestly was having a hard time believing this was really happening. But it was. And it was this stream that made me realize something I never even considered when becoming a content creator. No single person can do everything on their own, nor can they learn to grow on their own. Teamwork really does make the dream work. But that doesn't mean that those you reach out to are going to do everything for you. You have to be willing to help them grow so that they can help you grow. It also reminded me of what I've been trying to accomplish with my content before I got so wrapped up in the numbers. I wanted to help people the same way that Shay Carl helped me all those years ago. To inspire others to find the thing that they love to do in their lives, to help them become their best selves, or even just simply making their day just a little bit better. This one stream changed me for the better, and from that moment forward, the community has continued to grow, allowing me to reach out to more people, make new friends, and to keep doing the thing I love to do. I've definitely made some missteps along the way, but now they don't keep me down for very long, and I'll always get back up, no matter what. There are a few things that I wish I could improve in my life, and someday I hope to work full-time in the video production industry as an editor, cinematographer, or anything really. I also would like to meet someone special, maybe start a family and inspire the next generation. But as far as I am in the here and now, I could not be happier with the life I lead. And it's thanks to all of you that I'm able to continue leading said life. So thank you all so much. But on that note, that's going to be it for this special vid. Let me know in the comments below what other special things you'd like me to try. But until then, I am Tom Leo, you've been amazingly fantabulous people, and I am signing off. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next vid. Peace!